Just call me Angel of the Morning, Angel. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to get that off my chest. It's been so long since I sang on this podcast. Just a singer through and through. I've missed you. I feel like when I have a guest and then I don't get to do just the stream of conscious, one-sided conversation with you, that I really do miss the muscle and I miss the interaction, because these are basically my only social interactions. Although that's not true. I've had kind of a busy week since we last chatted, which, by the way, I love those Girls Gotta Eat girls. From the Girls Gotta Eat podcast, Raina and Ashley. What a time. What a joy. And also, like, I really just genuinely enjoy the company of other podcasters. Not all of them. I mean, so many suck. And we really aren't talking about it enough, but there is a handful of these girls, okay, primarily female, that are bleeding out behind these microphones and not getting enough fucking respect and credit, because it ain't easy. It's not easy out here, okay? I mean, is it the best gig in the world? Obviously, but I had a great time. And, you know, when I bank a guest episode, I have a little bit of time to live, to laugh, to love, and then be able to reconvene on this microphone and catch y'all up, okay? It's been a busy week. At the beginning of this week, I shot a very mysterious beauty campaign with Heather McMahon that I am not able to give a lot of details on, but we had such a great time. What's funny is that Heather and I are very, very close, but we never talk about work really, or it's just not, it honestly doesn't come up. It's the last thing we talk about, and we've never actually worked together. And, you know, Heather is a workhorse. She is a professional. Me, you know, not so much. I don't know that I've dedicated that many hours to a project ever. We started at 7:30 a.m. Okay. And we're talking hair, makeup, full set, stylist, costuming, undergarments, fittings. I mean, I had so much fake hair in my head that my scalp just stopped seizing. I was having scalp palpitations from the lack of oxygen. And I mean, I don't want to brag, but low-key killed it. I'm hardly a thespian, so for me to have to read lines and improv, if you will, in front of a set of 30 people, my asshole fully prolapsed. But the light at the end of the tunnel is that me and Heather are we're doing a staycation. We're going to go out tonight post-shoot. We're going to rip cocktails, okay? We're going to cry. We're going to laugh. We're going to talk shit in a protected space. And everybody needs a night with one of their girlfriends where you just go off the rails, okay? I've got two versions of this, because I really am, and I hate saying it because it's now this digital trope. It's this new wave that everyone wants to kind of co-sign on. I'm an introvert. I just want to stay in. When I tell you that since I was a kid, when I would get invited to a sleepover party, the way that it plagued me at any point in my life, from 5th grade to 10th grade to through my entire existence, I never wanted to sleep over at someone else's house. Okay. I never wanted to be at a party past 10 p.m. There are so many photos that I have to find of me at a prom after party, and everyone's sipping pop off vodka from a water bottle with a cherry Sprite shooter. And I am laying on a sofa in the background of a party with my rosacea at a level 10, trying to get some shut eye. I've just never been someone that's really that fun after 9 p.m. And I'm specifically now, I don't know if this is relatable to anybody, but I'm not a super social person. And I'd like to just preface this by saying it's not because I'm not good at it. I'm too good at it. You know, it makes me hate myself. I go to dinner with strangers and I am on the goddamn clock. Okay. And while I'm participating in it, I'm having a good time, but it does feel like I have to I have to up the volume internally, and I'm so good at it that it makes me hate myself. It's come so naturally to me. Everywhere I go, I'm talking to everybody. I can't physically help myself. And I don't know if it's just like a manufacturing error, but like I'm going through Trader Joe's. I see someone like, looking at different bottles of red wine. And I'm like, I'd go with this Super Tuscan. Honestly, I got it last week and it's a real bang for the buck and like doesn't hurt with the spaghetti. I'm talking to everybody. I go out of my way. I'll see someone that I went to elementary school with, okay, that I could easily just graze past at the gas station. But no, what do? Hey, Brittany. Oh my God. Hi. It's good to see you. How are you? Oh my God. You've got a little girl. That's crazy. It's crazy how we grow up. Like, I still feel like I'm in middle school. Like, I cannot shut off the valve. And I've kind of like, I've worked against it for so many years because I am one click away from little Edie with the branches, like coming into my chimney and like never leaving my house. But so it's something that I really like actively go against, to be social, to show up, to say like, to make plans, to do the fucking thing. Okay. Because I have such a negative connotation of people who are homebodies. I feel like it's mentally ill, right? But there is a spectrum. And in the past, I would say 6 months, I've really allowed myself the grace to just be a little bit antisocial. And it kind of, like, I know it's fucked up and I know I'm not being a great friend, but in this moment in time, I'm a little overstimulated with a 2-year-old and going to lunch, grabbing a coffee, doing a thing, having a date night, like a group date night, like all of these different activities just feel so overwhelming to me. And if I'm listening to my inner voice and my truest form of self, I just want to be home, having a chili in my pajamas, watching my stories, going to bed at 8:45 with my magnesium drink, waking up. Like I'm very much so yearning for isolation and routine. And I'll get over it and go completely in the opposite direction. The pendulum will swing. Maybe it's like a post-tour thing, but I'm so burdened with even like the idea of like calling one of my best friends to catch up, which is terrible. And I know this is a me thing, but like I want to remove myself from the group chats. I don't want to catch up. I don't want to do I'm having a weird moment in time where I just want to respect my intuition, my genetic makeup, and just kind of hibernate for a while. With that said, sometimes, okay, when you have an out of town girlfriend that you need to swallow it down, book a staycation, have an obscenely gluttonous amount of cocktails, appetizers, entrees, desserts, and talk violent shit about people in a glamorous setting. So Heather and I wrap this shoot. We go back to our hotel. We have an hour of quiet time. And I say, I would personally gnaw at a alcohol soaked sponge that I found in a gutter somewhere, if it would give me just a hint of a buzz. She says, same, let's meet at the bar 6:15. Okay. We kind of like dab off our scent makeup, refresh our extensions, and we hit the bar. We proceeded to chug down. This is kind of like the lay of the land for us for a girls' dinner. First, we spend, I would say, 12 to 18 minutes talking about acid reflux because it's something that we both carry and that we both struggle with. I never had acid reflux until I got pregnant with Clyde. And everybody told me that the second I gave birth, it would go away, and it never fucking went away. And if I have a bowl of arrabbiata and a Super Tuscan, my vocal cords will fry alive from the hot acid rising from my stomach. Okay. So, I mean, I have woken up so many times where I physically can't speak, and it's all because I had like a tomato heavy meal and perhaps too much red wine. It happens, tale as old as time. She never learns. So Heather and I, we've done this historically every time we're about to have a meal because we love the vino rouge, if you know what I mean. But it hurts us. And instead of just pivoting as a lady does, one with perfect 2020 hindsight and knowing exactly what it's going to do to us in our tracheas, we do this performative kind of dance where we go back and forth talking about acid reflux, how awful it is, how red wine doesn't sit well with us. Oh God, I know. Like, I just can't. Like, it's the red wine. I know it's the red wine. Like, we got to stop drinking the red wine. We got to pivot. Like, maybe we'll do like champagne or like, cause it's like lower acid, but maybe that kind of hurts too because it's sparkling. Maybe we just stick with martinis. Should we stick with martinis? Although martinis sometimes give us acid reflux too. But if we don't get the pizza, we don't do anything like tomato based, like maybe we could counteract. Do you think they have baking soda in the kitchen? Like maybe if we do a small shot of baking soda before. Did you bring the Pepsid? I don't have Pepsid. I have these like Genexa Tums, but I feel like they don't really do the job. Yeah, maybe we'll do the baking soda thing. Is that weird to order baking soda at Tower Bar? I don't know. Like I'm sure we could do it. Like I'm staying here. Like maybe we could call it in. We go back and forth. We play a sad little performative ping pong about how bad our acid reflux is, only to 37 minutes later order a very expensive bottle of red wine, which we down with cookies and ice cream. Listen to this, okay? You either need, write this down, you need either a bitchy little lunch or a long cunty dinner. These are my two methods of socialization for females. A bitchy little lunch is as follows, okay? You're ordering something light and tangible. No drinks are involved. You're getting a sensible iced tea, maybe an overpriced chopped salad. If you're feeling crazy, a bread basket, no dessert, somewhere al fresco, wind in the hair. Maybe you're doing a matcha, maybe a post lunch, like cappuccino, because like we're pretending we're abroad, whatever. So the little bitchy lunch is kind of just skimming the surface of shit talk. You throw out something like kind of elusive, like, oh no, like honestly, like I love her, you know, I would do anything for her, but like I think she's going through something right now, right? And then you kind of Christy Yamaguchi surface level ice skate around what you really want to say, which is that you hate this person, they're dead to you, they're a cunt, you don't fuck with them, and on top of it, they have bad highlights. But we don't say that at bitchy little lunches. We eat our salad, we drink our iced tea, we plant the seeds, okay, and then we walk away. A long cunty dinner is where those little seedlings sprout and skyrocket at a pretty rapid pace. Also, it's worth mentioning that I did have a Bloody Mary at lunch, so my acid reflux is now just more current than ever. I had not had a Bloody Mary. Red leather, yellow leather. What were we saying? Anywho, I have not had a Bloody Mary in 7 years. I'm like, it's too much sodium. It's like drinking gazpacho. And also the thing with a Bloody Mary is that I'm very cognizant of food group repetition. And I cook with a lot of tomatoes despite being a acid reflux warrior. So I figure if I have a Bloody Mary, tomatoes are off the table. And therefore can't make a pasta, can't make a chili, can't make a tortilla soup, can't make a caprese, can't make a cacciatore, can't make a puttanesca. So many things are off the table when you exclude tomatoes from the repertoire. So historically speaking, I'm sodium retention, no. Tomatoes, no. Acid reflux, no. But in the past month, I'm living, I'm laughing, I'm loving, and I'm drinking Bloody Marys with a little shrimp in there, a little shrimp-a-rooney. So I'm just swallowing it down while my trachea burns alive. Now, let's get back to the long cunty dinner. A long cunty dinner, as previously stated, are where the seedlings sprout and skyrocket. Now, there is no foreplay. There is no warm-up. Actually, that's incorrect. The warm-up is usually an ice-cold, violently shaken bone dry Belvedere martini that you slug down a little quicker than usual. Maybe you had a long day. Maybe you need to unload on a close friend. Okay. So after you slug down the first martini, we go into some form of foreplay. We're talking conspiracy theories, Epstein files, aliens, demons, John Benet Ramsey. I mean, all of the things. We're just kind of we're tinkling with pop culture topics, okay? We're speaking in a hushed tone. We're giving some type of a hypothesis of a situation from somebody on our TikTok algorithm with no real information. Okay, we're floating things. We're getting a temperature check. Then from there, we move on to family trauma. Okay, we're giving updates. We're talking about husbands, family members, estranged family members, deceased family members. Then we're sprinkling that. Imagine this is somewhat of a hot fudge sundae. Then from there, it becomes a ruthless shit talking session, and volume control starts to get a little lost. We're now on the second martini that's going down a little bit quicker than the first. We've now had caviar deviled eggs, onion rings, pigs in a blanket. By the way, we're like, oh my God, we're so stuffed. Like, we shouldn't. Like, I'm so full. Like, I've really been trying to watch what I eat. Also, the acid reflux. Now we're 2 martinis deep, and our order is as follows. Okay, and then I'm going to take you on the journey of the long cunty dinner conversation. So we do the performative acid reflux thing. Then we do the performative, we should eat healthy. Like, what sounds good? Like, I really need to eat something light. Heather's got a shoot coming up. I just need to get a tapeworm. Summer's coming up, all of the things. We proceed to order the following: pigs in a blanket, onion rings, a chopped salad for greens, caviar deviled eggs, a bread basket, ahi tartare, a burger, truffle fries, a hot fudge sundae, performative creamed spinach, which is not healthy at all, a broccolini, which we both didn't touch, and then a 2-scoop hot fudge sundae with pistachio ice cream, vanilla ice cream, pecans, which I don't really fuck with, but ended up being like a nice little crunchy touch per Heather's request, rainbow sprinkles, hot fudge, a side of berries, and then chocolate chip cookies. Okay. And to the women flanking us at the Tower Bar on Tuesday evening, I say to you this as a plead. This is not a plea. This is a threat. Don't say a fucking word, because by the end of that dinner, we were naming the puppy. We weren't just naming the puppy. We were screaming the puppy. Okay. And we're looking around, and I start getting a little too comfortable. Now I'm lightheaded from the weave, and we are just off to the races. Okay. We're off to the races. Now, also then we got a bottle of Brunello. Now we're chugging wine. Then we ended with some cappuccinos. It was a disaster. We laughed, we cried. And then, when you start speaking in metaphors, because we've circled the drain. Anyone who's had a long cunty dinner knows this. Once you've beat all the topics to filth and you've just had a verbal exorcism, then you start speaking in shorthand metaphors. I said something so ridiculous in the middle of dinner that me and Heather were so drunk at the time that we thought that this was like the most profound thing I've ever said. And I literally made Heather text it to me in the middle of the dinner. First I said it and we were like, oh my God, fuck, Jackie. She's like, that's deep. And I'm like, seriously, that's like the smartest thing I've ever said. And she's like, oh my God, that just blew my mind. We were being dead serious. I'm like, I know, sometimes these things, they just come to me, and like sometimes I'm so stupid and I think, wow, what a fucking idiot. But then sometimes I have these like really deep thoughts, and then it's like opened up like a whole new world for me. Like, I zoom out and I'm like, whoa, like I am working with a full deck. Like, I'm kind of smart. And she's like, you are kind of smart. And I'm like, wait, what did I say? And she was like, it was something like, then we spent 15 minutes trying to remember this amazing life altering quote that I said. When we finally got around to figuring out what it was, I was like, Heather, you got to text that to me. I'm totally going to forget. And then she's like texting it. We've got the flashlight on. She's trying to text it to me. And then this is what it was. It's a lot of buildup for nothing. Let me find it. This was Tuesday at 10:48 p.m. So we are now sauced and broken. People who don't have big lives don't have big solutions. And then I wrote, frame that. Well, I'm going to say it one more time because it should be repeated. People who don't have big lives don't have big solutions. Honestly, that slaps for me. That makes sense to me. You know, some people, smart people, stick their hand in a fire a couple times and then they go, oh, ouchie, that hurts. But then some people, they need to get third-degree burns before they realize that fire equals hot. And I use that as a metaphor once again for a hotel that I stayed at about 3 years ago that is fucking haunted. I had a complete traumatic paranormal experience staying there the first time, and she didn't learn her lesson. So I shouldn't name the puppy because I really love this hotel so much and I will definitely stay there again. And I love the restaurant and bar there so much. I mean, just the best martinis and the best place to talk shit. I mean, you want the cunty long dinner to end all cunty long dinners, you go to the Tower Bar, okay? It's low light. The food is like, it's not the best food in the world, but it's just, you can't curate the spirit and the vibe of that place. It's just the best, okay? So I stayed there about 3 years ago and I had dinner there. I get in the elevator. I was staying alone because I had something to do in the city all day. And then I had something really early in the city and to drive back and forth and back and forth. Just was too annoying and too exhausting, too much mileage. So, oh, Jesus, fuck. I'm talking about a paranormal activity. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, this man is always trying to get airtime. Embarrassing, Andrew. Anyways, so I stayed at the Sunset Tower Hotel a couple years ago, okay, by myself, solo staycation. Had a couple cocktails at dinner, shocked nobody, had a long, cunty little dinner. And then I go up to my room. I scan my key and I hit my floor. Let's say for sport, I'm staying on the 6th floor. And my girlfriend that I was at dinner with was like, bitch, you can't stay here. It's haunted. Okay. And I'm like, what do you mean it's haunted? She's like, everybody and their gay brother knows this hotel is haunted. It's fabulous, but it's haunted. And I was like, I didn't see that on TripAdvisor. What are you talking about? But she thinks everything's a little haunted. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to take this bitch seriously. I get in the elevator. And instead of it taking me up to my floor, it takes me down to the basement, okay, which is for employees only and looks like a scene from Saw. And I'm freaking out, okay, because now my key's not working. I keep trying to tap it so I could get back up to my floor. I'm like, close the doors, close the doors. The doors aren't closing. It looks like almost like an underground cement parking lot, but with nobody there. Okay, so I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, maybe this is haunted, but like maybe this is just a mistake. Maybe somebody called for the elevator, then maybe it didn't scan. Maybe I've had too many cocktails. Maybe this isn't working, whatever. So I go back to reception. I get a new key. I get up to my room. Okay, we're Gucci. We're good, okay? I get in bed to go to sleep. The windows are kind of like old and charming, and they require like a steel kind of deadbolt situation. So I deadbolted all the windows. It's like a floor to ceiling, like a paneled window that's almost like a door, okay? And I'm finally go to sleep, and in the middle of the night, both windows. So what's the coincidence that 2 deadbolts are able to open? And I know because I was a little freaked out because I have kind of a heights thing and it was summer. It was hot. I had the air conditioning down as low as it would go. Like there's no chance in hell that these windows were left open. They're either completely open or deadbolted. They're older, like kind of lighter paned windows. In the middle of the night, both of the fucking windows open. Okay, swing open. And I was so freaked out. I did not sleep. I put all the lights on. This is at like 3 a.m., okay? I'm so freaked out at this point that I considered driving home in the middle of the night or like just like checking into a different hotel and like sleeping in my car. Okay. Cause I had something to do very early the next morning. I'm like, I just need to like ride it out for 5 hours. So I was so tired that I couldn't really figure out an exit strategy. So instead I turned on all the lights and I sat wide awake until sunrise. Okay. Like eyes bulging out of my head like a bush baby from wild thornberries. And, you know, I forget things. I get over things. I'm a very resilient human being. So I kind of like forgot and buried about that particular evening at that very particular hotel. So on Tuesday, I go back to the room. I'm sauced at this point. I was also just so excited to take out the 18 pounds of hair extensions that were like stapled into my head that like I would have slept in Alcatraz. You know, I was exhausted. I would have slept on the cement floor of an isolated cell in Alcatraz a la 1968. So I get in bed. I'm also just so happy to be in a beautiful hotel alone without my son and my husband, like a little bit buzzed. I can't even tell you. You know what I mean? Nobody knows the joy of that more than me. Like nothing makes me happier. I either want to be like on my sofa in a sensible pajama set, or I want to be at a luxury hotel totally by myself, like a little bit drunk, and nothing really in between. Like, don't invite me to a double date, but put me up in a hotel alone or leave me in my living room. And that's just the pendulum that swings for me. So I get into bed. I put on Chromecast. I'm watching vintage Roni. Tinsley just did, you know, the circus routine. She's crying, dressed as a clown. I'm having a great time. All night long, I'm getting spooky senses, okay? I put myself down. I'm waking up every hour to like weird noises and creaks, and I'm just on high alert. Like something was not right, as Miss Clavel would say. Then, you know, so I don't get a great night's sleep, but I'm like, whatever. I'm in a beautiful hotel. I'm going to have room service. We're getting huevos rancheros and a green juice and business as usual. I walk into the bathroom and I have a video. I'm like afraid to post it, but I do have a video. You know, one of those vanity mirrors that lights up like the magnifying mirrors with the light around it. So like if you really want to just jump out of a window, you do your makeup in one of those things and it shows every imperfection and pore and chin hair, whatever. So they have one of those in the bathroom, but it's not hardwired. It's a plug-in and it's on the lower shelf of the vanity. It's completely unplugged. It's not solar powered. It's not battery powered. It is exclusively a plug-in mirror. I'm on the phone with my sister telling her how I think this hotel is haunted. And the light on the mirror turns on. It is completely fucking unplugged. I said, Ashley, I have to get the fuck out of here. Gotta go. I start throwing my shit in a bag. It turns off right when I go to take a video. I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, I just got to get out of here. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I'm throwing all my shit in a bag and go back into the bathroom. It turns on again. I get my phone out to try to take a video. 0.07 seconds after I start taking a video. And I do have a video where you can see, if you watch it in slow-mo, the mirror is on. The plug is completely unplugged in plain sight on a glass shelf, and it turns off. And I mean, will I go back? Absolutely. I think that it was a very Casper-friendly ghost who probably observed me at dinner in the same hotel and thought, I fuck with that bitch hard. She's hilarious. She is talking shit like it is the apocalypse. And I fuck with her. I'm going to follow her up to her room. And maybe I don't want her to go to sleep. Maybe I want the party to continue. Okay. And I get it. I totally get it. But so that was my Tuesday. Another thing that I would like to discuss. First thing, this is just a social purge. Could Amanda Francis use her manifestation powers to manifest new eyebrows? Because 2013 called and they want their fucking eyebrows back. And we should not be taking any form of advice, financial, emotional, educational, no form of advice or wisdom from someone who's rocking a pencil thin eyebrow a la 2026, okay? And it's not like a Gabriette, like stylized supermodel eyebrow. It is a misinformed eyebrow. And if you can't figure out your eyebrows, you can't figure out anything else for me. I'm good on that. Thank you so much. Just had to purge my soul. Hold on, let me take a little sip of my matcha. It's ASMR. Ooh, we're a little dry. I've been watching Love Story. And do I think it's an amazing show? No. Do I love it? Yes. Two things can exist at the same time. And not everything needs to be a groundbreaking cinematic experience. We're going to talk about Wuthering Heights after this because I saw it alone in a theater with frozen Junior Mints, popcorn, and a Diet Coke, and I had a great time. But I've been watching Love Story, and I'm very concerned for what it's going to do for the future of men's fashion because, you know, anybody with a blue check mark, like these broken male influencers, just like men on the internet in general, like I don't like when a man is too plugged into pop culture. I find it to be deeply upsetting. And you know, these bros in New York, they're all going to go get those fucking hats and they're going to get on those city bikes and they think that they're going to like take on a new lease on life, JFK Jr. adjacent. You're not. Nobody wants to fuck you, okay? Like, enjoy yourself. But specifically, what we do as a culture is, and it's a beautiful thing in one regard because it's important to have things like communal experiences, okay? Especially when the world is on fire. And Love Story has really done that for us. It's given us nostalgia, just some like lighthearted joy. It's not incredible. It's not this like insane storytelling that's going to rewire your brain, but it's fun. It's fluffy. The casting is great from an aesthetic point of view. It transports you, you know, besides the car crash or the plane crash, spoiler alert, you know, it odes back to the 90s, which is like the most whimsical time for me. Okay, the music supervision is great, yada, yada, yada. Now, instead of just letting a good thing ride out and bring us joy, internet culture has to create some type of a trend, a fad, a click to shop, a vibe, an aesthetic, an era for just something base level like a fucking TV show, like a Ryan Murphy production. Why can't we just watch the show, listen to the Cranberries, and fantasize about JFK Jr.? No, no, no. TikTok and Gen Z has put a quirky little name in my CBK era. No, you're not. You're never going to be in your CBK era, okay? And it's taken me 14 hours to get CBK down because I've been calling it CPK, which the irony is not lost on me because some bitch, you know, thinks that they're going to buy a polyester cardigan and an H&M headband and like with a demure little CZ stud and like an ear tuck waltzing through Tribeca like they're CBK when in reality, with those bad highlights, you look like a Ukaipa CPK. Okay, you look like an Inland Empire CPK, not a CBK. It's not working. You have yellow undertone blonde box hair color. No one thinks that you're jet setting to the Hamptons this weekend with the Kennedys, okay? You're lucky, like I said, CBK, if you end up at a CPK in Redlands, California. That's the only place you belong with your Shein tortoise headband. Stop. Also, the whole resurgence of people that are deceased feels very weird. It feels very weird because it's like, yes, it's an homage to them. I don't know, but just by the pure nature of CBK, not CPK, being very private. And then it's like they do this show and now we're like, oh my God, I'm in my CBK era. Well, don't get on that flight. Like, what are you talking about? Like, let it go. Let it live. Stop being annoying. Why do I have to tell you all these things? Wait. I would like to call attention to something on the internet. Two things, actually, in this week's edition of Name the Puppy. Ow. Oh my God. Ow. Crick in the neck. Okay. First things first. I love talking about insufferable women on the internet. It's not of the times, but here we fucking go. Catherine McPhee, aka Catherine Foster. Nothing tickles this digital pickle like a campy, niche, try hard, quirk, wanna be relatable, like skinny, pretty rich person who's cosplaying is like, what's in my bag? Like, oh my God, chapstick. Like, okay, true story. I have like 3 chapsticks in here. Like, by the way, no one's ever said this. I'm just riffing here. I'm riffing. I'm a professional. She's like, oh my God, wait, this is crazy. I have 3 chapsticks. Holy shit. Oh my God, this is like crazy. a protein bar that's like half open. Oh my God, like wet wipes. Like, I can't. I don't want to see Catherine Foster McPhee or whatever her fucking name is. It's unbelievable. She does a what's in my bag and she's like, I have like these little individual Neutrogena makeup wipes. Like I don't really ever wear makeup, but like it's kind of weird that I have them in my bag. But like if I work out and I just want to like kind of refresh, but like I don't really wear makeup. We're like, okay. And then she's laughing and it's so silly. She's so silly. Insufferable. Secondly, speaking of travesties in New York, a la the CPK plane crash, which I'm not laughing about. I'm just saying another abomination. I want to talk about Matthew Morrison from Glee. Now, if you watched Glee, he was the teacher. I can't remember his fucking name. Matthew Morrison. Google it. And if you're not with me, he's been doing this live show that is a spoken word, like kind of scat jazz musical performance. And it is the greatest thing that I have ever seen grace a stage. Like Hamilton fucking wishes. I've only seen certain clips, but he does this one sketch, about 9/11 that when I tell you, I could not breathe for 47 minutes. I watched it 16 times. I sent it to everybody I knew. I Chromecasted it or Apple ScreenPlay, SharePlay, whatever you want to fucking call it, on our living room television. And I made Andrew sit down and I said, I have to show you something. He's like, what? I'm like, sit down. He's like, who's that? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Watch him. He does this jazzy little 9/11 dance with a kickball change. And it is, first of all, I don't know if you know this, but the main character of 9/11 was Matthew Morrison. He makes the entire travesty about him with a bump, 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 and a da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And he's just like at a city winery in a suit, popping his pelvis with a fedora and talking about 9/11 and singing a little song. And it is crazy. I want to talk about Wuthering Heights. Now, as a surprise to no one, I never read the book. I never read any book in school, which is why I didn't graduate high school, in case anybody fucking forgot. So I went about a week and a half ago. I got my frozen Junior Mints that I smuggled in. I had a no butter popcorn, an icy Diet Coke. I was like the only person in the theater, which was unbelievable, but also very, very sad. Go to your movie theaters, support movie theaters. Imagine if movie theaters closed. You guys, I care about nothing. This is my philanthropy. Movie theaters are my church, okay? Movie theaters are my therapy. There is something so soul resetting. And women with children, women with husbands, women just with themselves, okay? If you need a day off, call in sick to work or schedule it for a weekend and go see a matinee by yourself in an ice cold theater, okay? Let your tits hang low, bring a Snuggie, bring in some frozen Junior Mints, get a Diet Popcorn with a Diet Coke, and just escape for 2.5 hours. Turn your fucking phone off. It's my favorite thing to do. I love it so much. So go to the fucking movie theaters. Secondly, imagine a world where we don't have that. I will die. Don't do it to me. So I saw Wuthering Heights and I didn't really know what to expect because, like I said, I never read the book. And I was kind of seeing so much discourse online about people who thought it was terrible or people who didn't like it or it wasn't like the book or then it was, unorganized, like all of these lukewarm hot takes, which I hate more than anything. And we discussed this a little bit on last week's podcast. Like everyone feels so emboldened to an opinion. Unless you have a solution, I don't think people are allowed to make negative comments on anything unless they have a better solution. And if not, just shut the fuck up. Okay. Not everybody needs a microphone, a platform, a take. I think it's so, there's something so like self-indulgent about being, the person that doesn't like something, especially if it's like universally liked. There's always that fucking guy who didn't like the restaurant, didn't like the drink, didn't like the song, didn't like the movie. It always has like a differing opinion because it makes them feel loud and important and interesting to be a contrarian. I know so many people like that. And I'm like, literally grow up. Grow up. You're unfuckable and you're not important. So big solutions. You've got no solutions because you have a little life. I think I like this little life. There's just nothing more annoying than that fucking guy. Okay. And there was just a lot of chatter despite this movie being wildly successful at the box office. I'm an Emerald Fennel fan, okay? I loved Saltburn. Loved Saltburn. Did I already have this conversation? I feel like I already had this conversation, but I couldn't have because I hadn't seen Wuthering Heights the last time I did a podcast. Maybe I'm just on a loop. Anyways, I saw it. I loved it, okay? It was different than what I thought. I kind of wanted it to be like grosser and like dirtier and sexier and like skankier and like just more feral, but it was a love story and like visually so beautiful. There is a level of it that is a bit distracting with the Charlie XCX, and I ride for Charlie XCX. I also saw The Moment in theaters, which I'm proud of her. I like that Charlie XCX is expanding her range. You could probably watch that one in a living room. I don't know that you need to go to the theater for it, but did I sit through the whole thing? Absolutely. I thought it was fine. I'm proud of her. I'm always proud of her. But this is a movie that you need to see in the theaters, Wuthering Heights. It is beautiful. It's romantic. The sets, the costumes, the music with Charlie XCX, 80% of the time was cool and weird and ironic in a good way. But then here and there, there'd be this beautiful scene with these beautiful images. And then all of a sudden you get hit with like an auto-tune kind of a croon, like, oh, whatever. And it was just, it kind of takes you out of it. Slightly distracting. That would be my only annoying note. But all in all, just like a glittery but gritty, just fun. I was entertained the whole time. Did I cry? I'm not a sad crier, I would say, in a movie theater. I'm a happy crier. Oh my God. I can't even watch. Like the actor awards are on tonight and we'll be doing a fashion recap because I got another 10 minutes to fill. But like happy speeches when people are like living their dreams, any halftime show. I watched the Bad Bunny halftime show again this morning in bed with Clyde because it's all he wants to see. And do I cry every time? Every time, like clockwork, when Bad Bunny gives his younger self the Grammy? Inconsolable. But Wuthering Heights, not a mist. Well, there was a mist and it was coming from my undercarriage, but not my retinas, because Jacob Elordi, even with those, what is it called? Side bangs? Not a side bang. Sideburns. And, the hoop earring and the silver tooth, like, would take him any way I could get him. Okay. The butt is reserved for Jacob Elordi. and those Bottega bags. And Margot Robbie is just so painfully gorgeous. And not to make the movie about me, but in Margot Robbie's like mansion chamber, she has these gorgeous like pink walls that are designed to look like her pink skin. And despite the fact that I'm more rosacea prone, so I wouldn't necessarily have a pink skin wall, it would be more red. And it kind of depends on the month. If I'm having a good skin month or a bad skin month, the Santa Ana winds are back. She's a little rashy, a little bumpy, but we'll get over it. I too have pink paneled walls in my boudoir. It is a mauve mohair, and I feel like I've never shown my bedroom on the internet really in its entirety, but it's so fucking fabulous. You would throw up all over yourself, okay? My walls are paneled with mauve mohair, okay? Floor to fucking ceiling. It's like a very glamorous padded cell, which is exactly what bedrooms should feel like. So yes, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was beautiful. It was, there's not a moment in time where I wasn't completely entertained. And that's that. And now we've said it. You know that nothing brings me more joy. It sounds like I'm about to do an ad. Nothing brings me more joy than reducing talented, rich, successful people down to just the surface level, which is judging their outfits for sport, while I also look like a goblin that crawled out of the ground. I love the juxtaposition. Last night was the Actor Awards, okay, the rebrand of the SAG Awards. I watched it with Clyde. I actually thought that it was a fun show. I liked that it was streaming on Netflix. I felt like there was a little bit more wiggle room and it was less serious in a good way. It was fun to see celebrities like having fun, having cocktails, not being like confined to basic cable. I don't know. All in all, I enjoyed myself. But more importantly, let's talk about outfits. Okay. It's not of the times. We're not supposed to talk poorly about people's ensembles. I'd like to bring it back once and for all. Listen, if you get to sleep easy knowing that you're rich, you're gorgeous, and you're extremely talented, way more so than the average plebeian. So at bare minimum, let ugly people talk about your outfits, okay, with no real qualifications. Let's start off with Jessie Buckley in Balenciaga. I love that people are just still keeping Balenciaga alive. Like, I understand that they switched creative directors. Wait, here's a question, and I don't really want the answer. I'll Google it if I really cared about it. Did the creative director from Balenciaga that was problematic, putting the stuffed animals in the harnesses and like had the weird child pornography language like in the campaign, did he now move to Gucci? Because I've invested in a lot of bedazzled specialty pieces that I just can't get rid of. But with that said, love that Balenciaga is still having a thing. I get it in theory, but not in execution. It looks like she got lost in a paper towel and like the red lip. It's not for me. Chase Infinity from One Battle After Another in Louis Vuitton. Give me a headpiece and I'm pretty much game. This looks like the dress that I wore at my sister's wedding when I was 6 months pregnant and proceeded to call her a lesbian at her own heterosexual wedding 4 times. I like it. Like, am I getting tickled in the pickle? No. Timothée Chalamet in Prada. Like, would it kill him to put a tie on? It feels unfinished, but I gotta tell you, he's like a little baby worm and I find him to be attractive. I really do. Emma Stone, gorgeous. Like, so thin. The face is unreal. Like, what a fucking bitch, right? I can't take it. Like, what a fucking bitch. Like, what I would do for that clavicle. We don't have to get into it. And the jawline, get out of here. Tiana Taylor in Tom Brown. Tiana Taylor could wear the carcasses, like Schiaparelli carcasses of all of my loved ones, and I would co-sign on it. I love her. I love her body. I love her face. I love her talent. I love her joie de vivre. She has reinvigorated these award shows just by showing up. She pops off the pages of life in a not in a overly earnest, annoying way, in an authentic way. And it's really hard to do. And for that, we applaud her. Michael B. Jordan, any hole. I would give him any hole. He is so, what is it? Oh my God. Like dripping sauce. Dripping sauce. I don't even care about his outfit because, ooh, Paul Mescal in a pussy bow. I get Pedro Pascal and Paul Mezcal. Is that the tequila mezcal? I don't know. I get those two mixed up. Now, I like when men go a little femme. I don't know why. It gives me like rock star, Harry Styles. I don't know. It's just like, I find it to be very bold and confident. The hair is not great. It is reminiscent of like 1998, I don't know, someone you went to summer camp with who had like 2 lunches. I don't love the hair per se. And the pussy bow is cute, but wait, is Pedro Pascal also, did I see that maybe he's homosexual? Because I love that for him if that's true. That was just a side note. Different person. Rose Byrne in Chanel. It's cute. It's nice. It's simple. It's grazing the ankle. Not excited about it, but like pretty, obviously. Kate Hudson and Valentino. I like the dress. I love the cape. Like, I wish people would get like a little bit more fashion and fun. Like, that Macy's Adriana Papel is going to have a Mother of the Bride version of this dress in T-minus 3.5 weeks. The jewelry is like kind of off for me. And like, I love a diamond. I love a choker, but it's fine. Sarah Pigeon, triggering, in Balenciaga. It does look like she looks beautiful, and I understand it, and I think it's very cool, but it also looks like, when you're either day 1 of your period or on the very last day when you just need a security tamp because you don't know what's coming or going, like, are we out of the woods yet, to quote the great Taylor Swift. It kind of looks like a loosely inserted security tampon, which is a hint of mauve, but, and it also looks like, it looks like a security tampon, like day 1 or day 5, but also kind of looks like a Sahankin vagina, like a Sahankin labia, like somebody who needs a labiaplasty. I don't know. Who else? We're just speedballing here. Gwyneth Paltrow in Givenchy by Sarah Burton. Okay, Bitch Bible, bonus points. Name the insufferable actress who recited these very words on International Women's Day. Givenchy, which is a female designer. And if you haven't picked up this book, go pick it up. It's a good one. That would be Anne Hathaway, a la, 2022, giving her International Women's Pose. Mia Goth in Dior, pretty, gorge. Demi Moore in Schiaparelli. This is great for an audio podcast, just talking about outfits with no visual. Demi Moore in Schiaparelli. I hope there's a lot of dead pigeons to account for that puffball. Speaking of tampons, I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. It's a little razzle dazzle. It's very high fashion, and I hope that was removable so that she could sit. Odessa Azion in Giorgio Armani. She looks like a piece at the car wash, but she's so gorgeous and so cool, and I literally don't care. Jeremy Allen White in Louis Vuitton. Another man who could have any of the holes. I don't know why I find him to be just such a sexy little Care Bear, but I do, and I'm not apologizing for it. Ugh. Parker Posey in Gucci. Like, in theory, is this cheese dick tacky and like looks like you would just see it at a wedding in Palm Beach? Of course, but it's perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not going to slice and dice. Like, do I love it? Yeah, it's pink, it's feathered, it's Gucci. It's very on brand for Parker Posey, also her role in White Lotus, and it's fun. And I like it. Okay. Adam Brody in Prada. She's wearing a sunglass inside. We've come a long way from Seth Cohen in the OC. A bit arrogant in tone. I saw him at the award show also wearing sunglasses. And I was like, what the fuck's that about? He's wearing a pop of yellow. And listen, I mean, Can I say something cunty? You're barely there. Hardly the performance of a lifetime. So maybe we take the sunglasses off. That's just a note. That's just a friend sharing things. I would say that to my best friend. So you're welcome. Sarah Paulson in vintage Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent. Okay. Can I say something honestly? Sarah Paulson, I don't care what she's wearing. I love her, and I feel like we would be the greatest of friends. That's all. I want to put that out there. The greatest of friends. Oh, I loved this. Sarah Catherine Hook. I could not tell you what she was in. Was she in White Lotus? I believe she's wearing Balenciaga. It doesn't say on Vogue.com, so somebody fix it. Okay. And she's wearing this like purple strapless dress that on its own is kind of matronly and boring, despite like the purple, which I used to hate, but now I kind of low-key love purple. But she has this like purple strapless dress, which is matronly and boring in theory, but she has paired it with a baby blue opera glove, leather opera glove, which is doing it for me. I've got to start incorporating opera gloves into my everyday life. I really do. And on that note, Tyler, the Creator, like, it's ridiculous, but I would do anything for him. I love Tyler, the Creator. Big, bad, and nasty. And on that note, I'll go fuck myself. Oh, Kirsten Dunst and Kate. Oh, I thought she was in Chanel. It's Kate. Who knew? Kirsten Dunst is so cool. Like, she could do anything. Everything she does is cool. I can't explain it. Ugh, Andrew is calling me. She is so needy. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Give me 5 stars on iTunes. Give me 5 stars on Spotify. Give me 5 stars on Reddit. Tell me I'm thin. Love you. Goodbye.